And a quick reminder, none of this is financial advice. This is just what I am doing with my money inside of ULTY. Welcome back, dividend stackers. Today is a big update for ULTY YOLO experiment because after being down for what felt like forever, my ULTY position is now officially showing a true profit when dividends are included. And the funny part is, this actually started last week when I showed that Blossom was showing my ULTY position as positive. At first I was surprised because in my head, I still thought I was down. But after seeing the Blossom show green, I went back into my spreadsheet, re-entered my numbers, checked everything again, and kept coming up with the same result. ULTY is officially showing true profit in my portfolio. So let me break that down here real quick. A ULTY market price when I last pulled it up was at $32.03. My average cost, which I think was the problem that I was having with my spreadsheet somehow, was showing a lot higher, but it's now at a $47.40 share cost basis, and my break-even price is at $31.13. And that break-even price includes the dividends, and that's where I get the positive ULTY position now. My true gain now stands at $304.92. I'll show the Blossom account here pretty soon. That shows a little bit less only because the dividends that were paid out are not included in there yet, and I'll show you how that is. But my market value sits at $10,808.46, and my out-of-pocket invested total, that's including the dividends, is $95 and $15,995.03. My out-of-pocket is just $10,503.54. My lifetime net dividends are now sitting at $5,491.49. So when you subtract the dividends from the total invested, I now come up with a true gain of $304.92 for a 2.90%. That still means my unrealized P&L is going to be negative at a negative 32.43%, which is $5,186.57. And looking at my other videos, they're showing a lot more. So not sure exactly where I went wrong. I know I was off away for a little bit and I was just updating as they went, but I must have hit a fat finger somewhere and typed in the wrong number. So what I ended up doing is just going to my transactions and recalculating all the numbers that I had there. And this is coming straight from Robinhood, and that's where it's getting the price that I have at what I bought those 337 shares at when you calculate everything. And when I calculated that, now showing me now at a positive $304.92. So this week I went ahead and signed up for Blossom, and honestly, part of it almost is as a thank you, because they helped me catch something I missed. They gave me another way to look at the position, and I'm not gonna lie, seeing that it was actually in profit made me happy. You can see here that it shows the difference, and I'm honestly still getting familiar with the platform here. So it is a free trial here, and then after 30 days, if I decide to keep it, it will charge me $5 a month as a whole, which we'll see if it's worth it. And so just a little thing I found out was here that this was showing a lot more than what I had last year. Is because I had it in Canadian money, and it showed a lot more, but I fixed that. I was able to see it on my phone at different numbers, so that's why I thought it was off. But when you go here and you see here, it definitely shows that I am positive, just as an updated for the dividends. Like I said, I'm still getting familiar with the platform, trying to see here how I can see the dividends and can show it here. You can see here that the last dividends have not been reported, but definitely as soon as that pops up, it should update this up here to what it's supposed to be. One of the things I do like about the platform, as I was playing around here, let me see if I can find it. And I found it here. When you go up here to the profile and takes you to this page, you can now see everything that you have, and you can actually go to dividends and it'll show you exactly how much dividends you've made all the time. You guys can see here that my portfolio holds those right here as far as dividends that it pays out, and ULTY is my biggest position, and then followed by Chippy and T-Spy. But altogether this year I had $5,640 paid out back to me, and my yield is at 35.7%, and my yield on cost is at 30.47%. One of the things I do like about Blossom is you can see your dividends here under insights, and you go here and it shows your holdings. You can see here that my account is positive 0.11% versus The S&P 500, which is 7.38% year to date. So obviously that's to do a lot with ULTY, but you can see here the dividends, how much I've gotten this year, and total returns with the price gain here. But when you go to dividends, I'll actually break down all your dividends similar to what I have on my spreadsheet there. But it also shows you how much each one of them have paid out, which is pretty nice. You see where the dividend allocations are going to, and then the forecast also there, which is pretty cool to see that on this page. The other cool part to see is actually when you scroll right over the date, it shows you what dividends you made for April. So April obviously closed as May now, but you can see there what all my dividends were. I can clearly see how much it was. The $762 is spread out primarily with ULTY, but Chippy is starting to carry his weight there. And so are all the other ones that I'm actually dripping automatically there. I'm not tracking those, but I have them here and I can always put them into my spreadsheet if I did want to do that. Also has the other years of what I've had. So you can see here when I did start the ULTY back in July, here it is. I had some Coney and NVIDIA, and it'll drop the Coney, drop the NVIDIA, and then that's when I started the ULTY YOLO experiment. But you can see all of the ones I have not sold out of ULTY has continued to pay me the dividends, and now it's starting to get into that $700 range, including everything else. So that I do like that part. Again, I said where the dividend allocation was and the forecasted, so it shows that the payout should be about $7,097.86, and all that annually should be $8,155. So pretty cool platform after I actually paid for it. I guess I haven't paid for it, but try the free trial. Check it out. I as I stated, I don't have an affiliate link. I need to wait, but if I do like it, I will start posting that there so you guys can take advantage of that, and you'll help me out. If you do want to help me out, right in the bottom there is a give button, and you can always give there. I would truly appreciate that. I don't make any money off of these videos. I barely got monetized a couple months ago, and the payout is really low, so I do appreciate anything. You don't have to, but if you find it in your heart to help out there, I would appreciate it. And if that's something, I always have the buy me a coffee link at the bottom. You can always click that link and either buy me an energy drink, or you can download the spreadsheet there as well and help out. Even if you don't need the spreadsheet, that's something you can help me out with. But I will be posting this here if I do like it in the future. So in 30 days, we'll find out. You can follow me here. I do have 89 followers, and it shows all my stocks, everything that I'm holding. Here are my holdings and everything that I have. So just take a look at that. You can also follow me, and you can see on there when I do what I do. Like when I buy a stock, you can always see that based on my portfolio here on my profile, and you can see on there all the stuff that I did. If I actually did make any trades, you can see there that I bought some XRP 8 hours ago, and then bought some Ethereum 8 hours ago, and then you can just keep going down there and seeing how I'm doing those automatic buys. Like I said, at either $5, I kind of started moving some of them to like $1 or so, just to see where I go. But all my plays are actually there for you to see, and so I had the receipts to show that. And then also I like this setup really, and because of the yield cost, you can't get that unless you're actually paid for it. So yeah, Blossom doesn't sponsor me, but I am supporting him. I appreciate the platform, and it actually got me to see that I'm actually positive on ULTY. I also thought that for around $5 a month, the dividends from the ULTY could probably pay for it, so I may just keep it for a year. We'll see, but I do think it adds another layer to the channel, because now I can compare what Blossom shows to what Robinhood shows and what my own spreadsheet shows, and when all three start telling a similar story, that gives me a little bit more confidence of where the math is lining up. So there you can see, there it is, the average cost of $47.40. My total return is at $5,212, but it's not showing. This does not account for the dividends that were paid out. So let's not pretend the price action has been beautiful. It has not. If we look at the share price, this position would still look ugly, but Blossom is also showing dividends of about $5,362 or at 33.54%. And when those dividends are included, the total return is showing about a positive $175 on the Blossom side. Here on my spreadsheet shows $304.82. So that was the first thing that caught my attention, because in my head I still thought this position was down, but Blossom showed me that once the dividends were included, it was actually slightly positive, and that's what made me go back and recheck my spreadsheet. And that's why this update matters, because it's exactly why I track TrueGain. If I only looked at the price, I would think it's still getting destroyed. And if I only looked at the dividends, I might still think everything is perfect. But when you combine both, the real picture is finally showing up. The price return is still ugly. The dividend income has been doing the heavy lifting. And right now, the full return is finally green. Not massively green, not life-changing green, but green. After being down for so long, I'll take it. So based on my spreadsheet, my unrealized price loss is still negative $5,186.57, or negative 32.43%. And again, that part is real. I am still down big on the price. I'm not hiding that. I'm not pretending ULTY magically recovered. It didn't. But once I include the dividends, my TrueGain is now showing a positive $304.92, or 2.90%. And that is the number that matters for this experiment, because ULTY is not a normal growth stock. This is something I bought because I expected the share price to shoot to the moon. It was not why I bought it. This is an income experiment. The whole goal is to see whether the dividends can eventually outrun the price damage and pay me back my original capital. And right now, for the first time in a while, the position is showing green when I include the income. Not crazy green, not life-changing green, like I said, but green. And Blossom says I'm green. My spreadsheet says I'm green. Robinhood is showing total return green. So I'm not going to be overcomplicating it. The ULTY YOLO position is finally back in profit when dividends are included. But now I also have to be completely honest. Could my money have made more money somewhere else? Yes, absolutely. Look at this chart. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, showing me a return of 104%. If my money had just been in there, I would be a lot better off. So I'm not sitting here saying ULTY was the most efficient investment. That's just the truth. I'm not saying this was the smartest possible play or place to put my money. And I'm definitely not saying everyone should copy this, because depending on the time period, a simple index fund couldn't beat this strategy badly. But that's also why I call this the ULTY YOLO experiment. This is not me saying I found the perfect investment. This is me saying, let's track the high income strategy in real time and see if the cash flow can eventually pay me back. That is the difference. The goal here is not to beat the S&P 500 over 1 year. The goal is to see if ULTY can get me to house money. And I repeat that, the house money. ULTY may not have been the most efficient investment compared to the S&P 500, but this experiment was never about taking the cleanest road. It was about seeing whether a high income position could survive the volatility, pay back my capital, and eventually turn into house money cash flow. Now, let me explain what I mean when I say house money. For me, house money means I have collected enough dividends to equal my original out-of-pocket investment. At that point, mentally, the experiment changes, because if I put around $10,503 of my own money and ULTY pays me back my money back, that same amount in dividends, then every dividend after that becomes profit for the original experiment. Now, that does not mean there is no risk. The shares could still lose value. The distribution could drop. The fund could underperform. Margin could make things dangerous. Taxes still matter. But psychologically and mathematically, it becomes a totally different position, because at that point, my original capital has been returned through income. That is the goal. That is the finish line I'm watching. Right now, my spreadsheet is showing the lifetime net dividends of about $5,491.49, and my out-of-pocket cash invested is $10,503.54. So I still need roughly another $5,000 in dividends before I can say ULTY paid me back my original cash. Now, depending on how distributions hold up, how many shares I have, whether I keep reinvesting, and whether the payouts rise or fall, I'm hoping that I could make this happen in roughly another 10 months. That is not guaranteed. Let me say that clearly. That is not guaranteed. ULTY could cut distributions and NAV could fall. The market could shift, options incomes could change, and the fund could keep drifting lower. But if the distribution stays strong enough, and I could be 10 months away from the house money stage. And that is why I'm not ready to end the experiment now, because I was going to joke around and say, now that I'm even, I'm going to sell it. But because breaking even was not the mission, getting paid back was the mission. And that's just me being honest. When I saw the position finally go green, I had one thought: should I sell? Should I hit the sell button, lock in the profit, and say, that's it, thank you ULTY. ULTY YOLO is done. We survived, we escaped. Because let's be real, after being down, being green, again, is very tempting. It's like when you're at the casino and you're down all night, then somehow you call back to Eden Plus a little bit and your brain starts saying, bro, just leave, go home. Don't be. And honestly, that is probably the responsible voice. That voice is not wrong. But then the ULTY YOLO voice says, nah, we came too far, because the goal was not to make $300 and leave. The goal was to test whether the income machine could eventually pay back the full original capital. The goal was to see if we can collect enough dividends where every future payment returns true profit. That is how's money staged, and I'm not there yet. I am closer, but I'm not there yet. So no, I'm not selling right now, at least not based on the update. The experiment lives on. And also, a quick reminder, if you enjoy these updates and want to support the channel, there are a couple ways for you to do so. The main one right now is the buy me a coffee link down below. That helps support the spreadsheet work, the late nights, the research, the updates, and the honest, probably a few energy drinks along the way. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you see the give button under the video, that's another way you can support the channel directly. No pressure at all, just watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing already helps a lot. But for everyone who wants to go the extra step and help fuel the channel, the buy me a coffee link and the give button are both below right there. And now once I'm able to use the Blossom referral link, I'll probably add that below too. So for now, I'm just using Blossom because it helped me catch this and because it gives me another way to track the dividends. But if that referral link becomes available, I'll add it below for anyone who wants to check it out and support the channel that way too. Now I want to hear from you, but do me a favor, smash that like button. Tell me that you enjoyed this video. Comment below. Let me know if I'm wrong. Would you sell ULTY? If this was your position and after being down big and you finally saw the true gain turn green, what would you do? Would you sell and walk away? Would you keep holding into house money? Or would you rotate into something else like the S&P 500 or another income ETF? Drop it in the comments below because I already know there are going to be some strong opinions on this one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow the journey. And as always, remember, none of this is financial advice. This is just what I am doing with my money inside of ULTY. ULTY YOLO out.